Thank you, Musician Me, for that lovely introduction. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, to my third video. I don't know if that's a milestone or not, but third video, something to celebrate. And we got a good one. This is the second episode of the Client Files. If you remember, the first one was a match featuring an unfortunate Link player. This one will be different. The subject of this video will be a Ken, and I will be the banjo. But I'll get to that when we come to it. First, I don't know if you've noticed, but I happen to be in a different place than normal. Feels like every time I do one of these videos, I'm always in a new place. Sitting in a new place, new background, different things going on. Speaking of my background, I have this amazing Digimon Adventure 1 wall art here behind me, and I got it today. I got it at a collectible warehouse called Frankenson. It's in the LA area. If you're in the LA area or in Southern California somewhere, I would definitely suggest that you check it out. It's amazing. All kinds of vendors, all kinds of stuff. You can really geek out, nerd out, whatever your terminology is. What I typically go for there is the Digimon stuff. I've been a pretty big fan of Digimon for more than a year and a half now. I know, I'm way late to the party, right? It's still around? Yes, it is. And maybe I'll do some content about that in the future. Freaking love that stuff. Getting back to why we're here. So, the video I'm going to show you is the final of an online tourney, Smash tourney. So there's going to be items and all that stuff, and it will be me, as previously mentioned, Banjo, against a Ken. And as you watch the video, you'll perceive it, you'll react, you'll have your own stuff happening inside that'll make you surprised, appalled, happy, cheerful, whatever you want to call it. Point is, you'll react to it, and we're going to talk about it and maybe find a therapeutic takeaway you can apply to your life as well. The one challenge I will offer to you as you watch the video is that you must imagine this Ken happy. Good luck.
Okay, so getting right into the match here, we have Banjo, a local bear, and Ken Masters, as his name would suggest, a street fighting master. Now, Ken is taking a bit of a deficit here to start the game as he gets hit with a couple grenades. There's the Pokeball. Let's see if Ken can take advantage. And Banjo actually secures the help of Abomasnow. Let's see what happens. Let's see how Ken can adapt. He's getting hit. He's risking hypothermia. There's the assist trophy. Ken is frozen solid and misses out on the pivotal assist trophy opportunity. But if we know one thing about Ken, it's he's versatile and he can come back. He's at 0. This is his time. This is where he shines. And Ken loses another stock via that gust of wind from Giratina. Now Banjo's tiny. Ken's got the size advantage. Banjo's back to normal size. They're fighting over the All-Star. Who can get it? Surely it's Ken's. And once again, Ken misses out from the help from the items. He's taking a few hits here. Can he survive? Oh, and right into the right blast zone. Banjo gets another assist trophy. Surely a large man with a sword is no match for, once again, Ken Master, street fighting legend. Banjo's busting out the eggs. We got ourselves a walking bomb with legs. Surely Ken can avoid it. And it's looking bleak for Mr. Masters here as he is down by 4 with under a minute to go. If he uses that wand correctly, it can be a big advantage here going to the final stretch. And the Wondering sent him off the stage. Can he recover? He does, but he's met with Waluigi on the platform waiting for him. And Ken is just getting beaten to the ground by the skinny man with the tennis racket. And we got some numbers flying across the stage right now. And let me tell you, the numbers for Ken right now are looking bad. It is unlikely he can recover. He will take the L. He will lose with dignity. And he's surely, at this point, done dying. He's died his last. He's taking a razor leaf to the face. But he recovers. Once again, this is where he can lose with dignity. That is Banjo's last Wonder Wing. Here comes Ken. Will he make it? He gets hit by the bomb and And he takes a crate to the face and loses by 6. Not what you wanted to see. Not what Ken Masters fans wanted to see here today. Banjo takes it.
So, Ken Masters, member of the billionaire Masters family. He comes from a world of wealth and privilege, but decides to dedicate his time and energy, his career, towards fighting. Being a street fighter and ascending the ranks as high as he can possibly go, becoming world champion, becoming the very best at his chosen profession. Now, what people tend to know very well is, for people who come from that type of privilege or high achieving culture, it can be very difficult to justify to people why you're doing something that appears unproductive or plebeian or unnecessarily risky. Something that's not reflective of your status of being someone who's, again, part of a billionaire family. So Ken might be taking a little bit of a risk here because, as anyone who's ever tried to go into the arts knows, or maybe has tried to start a YouTube channel, depending on whether or not you are looking to use that as a way to get wealthy, as a way to provide for yourself, as a way to provide for your family, it can be very hard to convince people that it's a good idea. So I want to highlight 2 articles that I found that really show what could be at stake for Ken here. Now, not giving any spoilers for Street Fighter 6. I actually don't play Street Fighter 6. I couldn't tell you what's going on in that game. But the first one says that Ken is not divorced, but that he's not particularly in a great relationship right now. Okay, so, what's going on? What are the pressures? What are the false or problematic narratives that he's telling himself that is making him a bad father in his life? The other one says, not only is Ken Masters a crypto bro, but he's actually apparently a really bad father. Now, this contradicts some other things that I've learned about Ken. I know that he tends to be a bit of a worrywart when it comes to his family, preoccupied constantly with his family, figuring out, what he can do better, how he can provide, how he can continue to train, how he can continue to win, how he can continue to be the best person he can be for the sake of his family. Now, this leads to an attachment to outcomes. And this is basically the main therapeutic takeaway that I'm going to give here, is that if you take everything in the background, the sort of justification for why you're doing things, the pressure of I need to prove to people, I need the fame, I need the awards, I need all that stuff, it can create this paralyzing feeling while you're actually in that activity itself. So you need to have a conversation with yourself. And this is my direct advice for Ken specifically, is why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you fighting? Why do you want to be the street fighter? Why do you want to be the best? Is it just to provide for your family? Because if so, that thing that you're using to provide for your family is the very thing that's actually taking you away from your family. You're being accused of being a bad father. You're being accused of being a bad partner, bad husband, and all for this thing, and you don't even know why you're doing it. Now, if Ken can find it in him to love the art itself, to enjoy every movement of his fists, every wave of his hair as he throws a punch, he throws his body into someone, he shoryukens his most powerful shoryuken. If he can find that satisfaction, that purpose, that drive within that activity itself, he might find that incidentally, paradoxically, that leads him to perform better and leads him to better outcomes in the future. Now, through this and keeping the match in mind, even if Ken were exclusively focusing on the activity itself, even if that war was driving his happiness, not the results, but the activity of fighting that gosh darn bear as we just saw in that match, well, without the attachment to outcomes, I think we must imagine Ken happy. We must imagine him in that situation, taking every punch, taking the gust of wind from Giratina, taking Waluigi's racket. Throughout every single moment, we must imagine Ken Masters happy. A big thank you to everybody who watched this video. I appreciate all of you who are here in the early stages and early moments of this channel. Now that I have 3 videos up, I'm going to try to do a little bit more promoting and a little bit more visibility efforts I wanted to have at least 3 videos on, so if people came into my channel, they wouldn't just be like, oh, what the heck? Like, there's nothing here. So big thank you. If you like this, share this with someone who you think would find it entertaining. As you can see, most of the content here is going to continue to be Smash related. I plan on branching out into other games in the future. For the sake of subscribers and setting goals, I do have a modest goal of 100 by the end of the year. Maybe we can make that happen. It would be great. Anyways, nothing else from me. Thanks again for being here. I will see you next time. I've been Vertigo, and this was episode 2 of the Client Files. See you next time.